Hello, and welcome to Message Magazine's daily devotional reading, Thoughts in Worship. Does it seem like your days are getting longer, yet your time with Jesus is getting shorter? Or maybe you just need a little pick-me-up that lasts longer than that morning cup of coffee, and is healthier too. Whatever the case, the way you spend the next few minutes in time just might determine where you spend eternity. And now, here's your host, author, speaker, L. David Harris.
Today's scripture focus, Acts chapter 26, verses 12 through 18. We are focusing on sin recovery principle number 5 of 12. We confess to God, and when necessary to people we have offended, the exact nature of our offenses. When God shows up in your situation, you are blessed. Having a close encounter with God can be scary. I know He has not given us the spirit of fear. I know that perfect love casts out fear. I know perfect love banishes the fear of condemnation. I know that this kind of fear means we are not experiencing perfect love. And this underscores the fact that many are apprehensive about close encounters with God. His presence shines a light into the dark closet full of skeletons we have been holding under lock and key. However, it is God's intent that an encounter with Him has the opposite effect. When Jesus visited Saul on his way to Damascus to destroy as many Christians as possible, Saul was overwhelmed by the brightness and power of God. So much so that he was blinded and knocked from his horse. Was Jesus there to accost and destroy Saul? Well, no. He wanted to bring the zealous sinner Saul into agreement with him. He wanted Saul to recognize that all that time he was fighting against God himself. The blessing is that Saul recognized the folly of his plans and became a receptive servant of God. Once he got over his initial fear due to the dramatic nature of his encounter with Jesus, he was in agreement with God's assessment. That is what biblical confession is, agreement with God's assessment of sin in our lives. He had been opposing God and was no longer willing to persecute Christ or His people. In what way will Jesus need to show up in your situation to bring awareness of your need of Him? Will He need to use a loss of employment? Will He need to use your sadness about a sick relative? Will He need to use your own failing health? The good news is that whatever startling or painful experience you have when God bursts upon the scene of your life will become a stepping stone to your victory if you surrender to Him. Saul did not stay on the ground. He did not remain blind. He did not continue traveling on the road to destruction. His encounter with God transformed him into one of the most fruitful and faithful followers of God. In Saul's case, the close encounter was a success. He was saved. Will your encounter with God be a success? Will you honor Him with the privilege of transforming you and making you an ambassador to the masses that need their own experiences with God? The choice is yours.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. Always remember, the way you spend your time now just might determine where you spend eternity. Until next time, be at peace.